broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Back to another edition of Red Sox Wrap 360. If it looks like I'm here all alone, it is, because I am so. I'm Mike Conley hanging with you. I figure with Vin Scully coming back for 67th year for the Dodgers next year, we might as well do it Vin Scully style and just go solo today. I'm just kidding. It's actually because everybody's fallen off the Red Sox bandwagon because it's been such a trying year, but some promise this week. A nice 4-2 week. You know, taking 2 out of 3 from Chicago White Sox on the road, and then 2 out of 3 from the Red Hot Mets in, well, I can't say Shea. I was about to say Shea in Citi Field this weekend. Unbelievable. It's too bad they couldn't put the finishing touches on the sweep today, dropping a 5-4 final. They had the tying run on in the 9th at third base. Very sad, very sad. But 2 out of 3 from the Red Hot Mets is pretty impressive. No doubt about that. Let's start with some news of the week. If you guys are faithful listeners to the program, you heard us lauding the efforts last week of Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy and how I feel that they are the best team in Major League Baseball calling games, and that's a team we won't be able to see past this season as Don Orsillo gets the axe from NESN, and what a terrible call on NESN's part and the Red Sox organization. It won't be their last. It certainly isn't their first, but terrible call. I like Dave O'Brien too, but and Tom Werner saying he's re-energizing the broadcast, that's a bunch of hogwash. There must be something that hasn't come to light yet. I mean, Dave O'Brien's been calling the games on the radio for the past 9 seasons, so I got to think there was a time where he was available in those 9 seasons to come over and do some NESN work. So I don't really buy that, and we wish Don Orsillo all the best. I won't insult him by calling him Don Donnie Baseball because that is a former Yankees, nickname, as we all know. But I hope everybody's doing well. If you want to keep me company and give a call in and, talk to me a little bit, I'm feeling a little lonely. But our number you see on the lower third is 424-256-1729. Or if you only speak Red Sox, that's Joe Cronin, Dewey Evans, Mike Lowell, Johnny Pesky, Marty Barrett, Jerry Remy, and Teddy Ballgame. 424-256-1729. Give us a call if there's something you want to talk about. If not, I'll just go on rambling. Another big news this week before we get into game breakdowns and stuff like that is exciting news for me that Hanley Ramirez was seen taking grounders at first base. And I know we've speculated on the program before that seems to be a reasonable landing place for him next year, as there is a vacancy at first base, and Dave Dombrowski said as much that this year. So he wants to kind of see, what Hanley can do sooner rather than later over there at first base and see if that has to be addressed in the offseason. But, it was an experiment that failed, moving him to the outfield, but they can't all be good. I mean, Mookie Betts made that seamless transition, as did Brock Holt, so we're not going to be 3 for 3, so what are you going to do? Maybe Hanley turns out to be a great defensive first baseman, who knows? And we all know that he's probably still can hit, although we haven't seen that since probably May. But it's good to see that over there, and that also means that Dombrowski, and he said as much so, is he really likes the way this defensive outfield is shaping up, with the Castillo in there, and, Castillo obviously and Jackie Bradley getting at-bats right on the regular now, and obviously Mookie. And it's something that we've speculated here in the past. Are we a better outfield with Mookie Betts, in center field, or where Jackie Bradley, as I've said, is the best defensive outfielder of all time? if he's in center field. And I think we're going to see some jumbles of that here in the coming months, and to have an idea going into spring training next year how our outfield may look. But in the comments from Dabrowski, it sounds like he is a Jackie Bradley fan, and he may be in a Red Sox uniform next year, which I would like to see because, we've suffered through the tough times with that kid, and now that things are going good, well, why trade him? We see now that he belongs in the bigs. So I hope he's a part of the team next year. So going back early in the week, we were at Chicago to face the White Sox. Like I said, taking 2 out of 3 from those cats who've kind of packed it in, even though they're not really technically out of the Wide Series. Oh, yeah, that's great. I did it. Thank you, sir. But anyways, so took 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. Mondays was a 5-4 win. Joe Kelly matching a career high by going 7.1 innings pitched, 7 1/3. Which was great, and he'd actually matched that career high later in the week. He's had 2 outings this week where he's gone 7 1/3. So things are looking up for Joe Kelly. We'll talk about him more later. The offensive star of that game, obviously, was Rusney Castillo, the aforementioned. 3 for 4 that night with a bomb, his 5th of the year off Jeff Smarja, and he had a career high 5 RBIs. So, he got it done. I really impressed. I know we beat up on the bullpen in this program, but Robbie Ross has really been showing me something this week, and he came in the 8th with 1 on and 1 out and got a speedy Adam Eaton to ground into a 6-4-3 in the end and double play in that one. And Gene Machie was a little bit shaky in the 9th, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, but he did get the save, his second. But what are you going to do? And it's been mentioned today by Torey Luvello that Gene Machie will be the new closer going forward after some troubles from Junichi Tazawa, which we will get to. But going forward, it's going to be Gene Machie as our closer in the 9th. So hopefully there won't be as many heart attacks as there were that Monday night in Chicago. The next night, they were on the flip side, on the wrong side of that 5-4 score in a loss. And Wade Miley taking the loss on that one. It wouldn't be, he would have had to take a loss on Wade Miley. It seems like that guy can't get 2 games above 500. He's like 9-8, 9-9, 10-9, 10-10. So he's 10-10 right now. And, Mookie with another couple hits in that game, as Rutledge also had 2 hits in that game. So, and the bullpen went 1 1/3, giving up no earned runs. So that was good. Yep. So then it was on to the rubber match on Wednesday night, and that was the Chicago White Sox in a 3-0 win. And this was the triumphant return, and I thought it was going to be anything but triumphant, but he proved me wrong. A guy that's been regularly debased on this program, Rick Porcello, shows up and was unbelievable and outdoing Chris Sale. Both those guys put up mirroring stat lines, going 7 innings pitched of no run ball and giving up 5 hits. But Porcello got the W in that one, and we were able to get Chris Sale's pitch count up and get him out of the way and attack their bullpen, which gave up 2 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th as the Sox went on to a 3-0 win in that one. Obviously, Porcello was the story. The offensive story was Travis Shaw, who had a huge 2-run home run in the 8th off of Nate Jones. Couple more hits for Todd Rutledge in that one. If Bobby DeMuro was here, he'd be dogging the former Rocky, but hey, he shouldn't. He had 2 hits in back-to-back games. Why not? The kid is hitting. And although he can't field, and since he's been joining the Red Sox, he's hitting .325. So the guy can swing the stick a little bit. It's just he's got to maybe work out there a little bit with Butterfield, start taking some grounders, what have you. But Poppy and Panda got the day off in that one. Poppy, because he's nursing kind of a left heel situation, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. Panda got the day off just basically because he can't hit right now, but his feeling has come around, and he's flopping that body all over the place, and he's been impressive defensively the past 2 weeks. But like I say, he hasn't really been swinging the sticks. He's only hitting .219 after the break, so we've got to get him going. Hopefully the defense will spur his offense, shall we say. So, yeah, that's the White Sox series. 2 out of 3 from a team on the road for the Red Sox this year. That's a huge win. That's huge wins. So, nothing we can be pissed about in that regard. And then, then we go to the Mets. The Mets were red hot. They entered in on a 7-game win streak. And during that 7-game win streak, they scored 73 runs during that 7-game span, which was a franchise record. So they were coming in real hot. And, they had it set up where they had their studs on the mound versus us. Friday, and they had, who they have going for them? They had Matt Harvey going for them then. And then on the next night, they had... Who did they have? Today they had Syndergaard, and who's their other ace there in the middle? It'll come to me. DeGrom. Yeah, what a stud. So they had Harvey, DeGrom, and Syndergaard going for them. You thought pretty good chance they're going to continue that win streak. Maybe go 3-0 versus the Sox. Who would be countering with Owens, a rookie, and then Kelly, and then today Wade Miley again. But the Sox did take 2 out of 3 from a really good ball club, the NL East leading New York Mets. So that's not to be overlooked at all. And Henry Owens was good in that one, going 5 innings pitched with an earned run, just allowing 2 runs, one of them earned. Sox pitches combined to walk 12 batters in that one, and they still were able to pull out the win 6-4 that night. Tommy Lane got the win in relief. Craig Breslow came in and got the save because Junichi was just being how Junichi is lately, just blowing things up. He did come in and get a good key double play in that one in the 9th, and Bogarts made an outstanding play on that, where he kind of stretched like a first baseman and still was able to complete the relay throw to first to get a double play, which was huge, absolutely huge in that one. And it looked on that play as if Tazawa kind of wrenched his back or something, because he was kind of stretching it afterwards. And the trainers came out. He took a couple, warm-ups and said he was fine, but he was anything but fine as he walked like the next 4 batters, walking in a run. And then Breslow kind of had to come in and save the day, getting Cespedes to fly out there with the bases loaded. So the bats were going in that one. Jackie Bradley had a bomb, 2 hits in that one. Swihart had a bomb, an inside the park home run. At least that's how it'll go down in the books. But it actually, upon replay, cleared the fence in left center and it was essentially dead center. And then came back in, and he said he knew it went out. He was rounded second. He saw how dispassionately the center fielder was going after the ball, so he kind of thought it was out. But where he ran around and scored, the Sox didn't have to challenge it, so it'll go in the books as a inside the park home run, the first one for the Sox since Jacoby Ellsbury back in 2011. But that just shows the wheels the kid has as a catcher, and that's one of the good things with Swihart, as much work as he has to do in calling a game and blocking pitches and things like that, he really is not overmatched at the plate, and he is fast. He got a stolen base in that game as well. When's the last time a catcher has gotten an inside the park home run and a stolen base in the same game? I do not know that, but if you do, give us a call back. You can call in tonight, or we want 424-256-1729. Or as I said before, Joe Cronin, Dewey Evans, Mike Lowe, Johnny Pesky, Marty Barrett, Jerry Remy, and Teddy Ballgame. If you want to give us a call and steer this conversation in the direction you want it to head. Oh, yeah. So Poppy went deep in that game as two. He's crushed his 27th off of Logan Verrett. Like I say, kind of once they got Javi out of the game, it was able to hit that Mets bullpen. That's pretty good towards the back end, but in that middle area, that 6th and 7th area, they can be had. But once you get into Clippard and Familia, they're pretty tough, as the Sox found out today, unfortunately. But then Saturday night, they went on again behind an excellent effort, his second of the week from Joe Kelly, and they won 3-1. Like I said, he went 7 1/3 again, matching a career high, only giving up 5 hits and 1 earned run. 2 Ks and 2 walks. He is 6-0 in August, and the first Red Sox pitcher to go 6-0 in a calendar month since Pedro Martinez back in May of 1999. And in that 6-0 August, he is sporting a nice 2.68 ERA in that, Mr. Kelly. So it's good to see out of Joe Kelly, and it's probably too late for his preseason call of a Cy Young campaign this season, excuse me. But maybe he'll give you some added depth for next year. I still think Dombrowski's obviously going to bring in some arms, but maybe some well-needed depth in the form of Joe Kelly and that if he can get things figured out. What he says he's been doing, he's been mixing in more of his off-speed stuff and throwing those for strikes as well to get ahead of hitters. Something he hasn't really done in the past. And I can understand that. When you throw 97, it is a temptation to get ahead with the fastball. But that hasn't been working. He hasn't really had super command of that this year. So to see him mix in more cutters, more sliders, it's good to see. And hopefully it's a step in the right direction in regards to that. It was interesting to see because this turnaround, he's kind of had Ryan Hannigan as kind of his personal catcher, obviously the veteran of the 2 catchers on the Sox. But he's kind of been his catcher now and through August, really turning it around. But it was Swihart, as an hour before game time, Ryan Hannigan was scratched before the game due to tightness in his right calf. He is supposed to get reassessed today, so we'll see what that happens, and hopefully it's not a DL stint for Ryan Hannigan. But he must have taught Joe Kelly to call his own game or really coached up Swihart because like I said, he pitched a great game, and he was mixing in things, which is a tip of the cap to Swihart. Well done, kid. Tip of the cap. And, keep it rolling, But, so that was a 3-1 win. That was huge. A lot of people sitting in that. Poppy with the tightness in his left heel. Ramirez was a sore right shoulder, and Castillo got some rest. But Poppy did pinch hit with a double. That was key. And Castillo came and ran for him. So those guys look to be all right. Mookie Betts also went deep that night, his 12th of the year, and added 2 more hits. So it was looking good. Everything was primed for a 3-game sweep of the NL East leading Mets. That would have been fantastic. Unfortunately, that didn't come to play, as the Sox dropped a 5-4 affair today to the Mets. But that's three results of 5-4 this week for the Sox. 2 on the short end, but you don't care about that. Wade Miley was okay. 6 innings pitched. He gave up 4 earned runs, but when they really needed that shutdown inning, and the Sox went ahead in the top of the 6th on a 2-run bomb by Poppy, his 28th. Also, coincidentally, that put him in all alone to 27th all-time on the all-time home run list with 494, passing the likes of Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, and Fred McGriff, the Crime Dog. Didn't think you'd have a Fred McGriff call today, but you just did. So Poppy's raking, hopefully that heel isn't much of a problem, and clearly it wasn't as he started at first today, being in the NL Park. But they came up on the short end of the stick today. Xander with another 2 hits today, and Swihart with 2 more hits as well, as the Sox were able to push across 4 runs on 9 hits, but it was not enough, as the Syndergaard pitched okay, but they ended up touching him up, and then their bullpen came in and shut it down. Oh, yeah, but you have to take solace in the fact they beat 2 teams on the road, a 4-2 trip to this point, and, that's pretty impressive. I mean, if the Sox can win 2 out of every 3 for the rest of the way, who knows? Maybe 500 is not a pipe dream. That would be fantastic. And, a few more wins might get me lunch off Bobby DeMuro. Who knows? But coming up this week, they host 3 with the New York Yankees. And then they'll have 3 hosting the Phillies. But, I just wanted to touch upon Really nothing, but, I'm here by myself, so I have to just rattle it all out. One thing I do want to touch upon, a non-baseball related issue, and, I don't consider myself an expert on many things, but one of the things I'm approaching expertise in is snacking, and one of the all-time best snacks of all time is Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its has come out with this cheese ball type thing called Cheez-Its Crunch. I figure it can't miss. Cheez-Its are delicious. Cheese balls are delicious. It can't miss. It missed. It's terrible. Do yourself a favor, send that away. That's a little public service announcement for anybody listening to the program, because they are horrible. Cheez-Its, look in the mirror, okay? You have a standard to uphold, and you're not upholding it. If you want to give us a call before we sign off in here, like I say, 424-256-1729. Sox with a 4-2 week this week. Pretty impressive stuff. And under Torey Lovello, the interim manager, they are now 10-6 since he took over. So that's pretty impressive. And this really isn't a team that's playing out the string, and that has a lot to do with them having this huge influx of youth, and one that's going to get even huger, if huger is a word, come September 1st when the rosters expand, and we're going to see even more of the youngins up. But they're not really a team playing out the string. They're playing hard baseball and good baseball, and they're fun to watch right now. So if you are some of the people that fell off the bandwagon, like these people, or you just want to see some good baseball play, come back on the bandwagon, because the Red Sox are a fun team to watch right now, and you want to have a leg up on 2016, because they're going to have a squad that year, if the past 2 weeks are any indication. So, yeah, Sox, winners out of the last 8-12, they are a hardball club. They are a hardball club. Don O'Silly, if you want to come and join Red Sox Rap 360 for the 26th season, the invitation is always open. You are the man, but I'm sure you're going to get a big old baseball job somewhere, and deservedly so. Clearly, the Red Sox do not deserve you, as they can't you, which is terrible. And he had a good, heartfelt goodbye from Jerry Remy, who had nothing but good things to say for him, as they've been working together for the past 15 years. And the guy's one of the best play-by-play men in the business. I can't say it enough, but, like I say, he will land on his feet. There's no doubt about that. Well, next week we are going to be taking the week off here at Red Sox Rap 360, as it is a Labor Day weekend, and I'll be actually going back to the homeland. Keep an eye out for me at Fenway. If you do see me there, don't hesitate to come and say hello. We'll also have a note on those of you folks that listen to the Dodgers program, Dodgers Rap 360, that usually comes up here around 9:05 Eastern Time, 6:05 Pacific on Sundays. That is actually going to be postponed. We'll be coming at you Tuesday night, TBD on that one. So you'll just have to tune in sometime Tuesday and or Wednesday morning, as it'll be up on iTunes and YouTube and on the AfterBuzz TV network. All right, but so that's a recap of the week. Sox with a 4-2 week, and hopefully they can keep it rolling this week. I mean, it doesn't look like the Sox are going to the playoffs. The least they can do for us is mess up the Yankees' chances of going to the playoffs, and they'll have an opportune time to do that starting tomorrow night with Eduardo Rodriguez on the bump. So they'll have 3 hosting the Bronx Bombers for 3, and then they'll have Thursday off, and then the Phils, who have been playing better baseball after the break, come to town for 3 over the weekend. So hopefully we can put together another 4-2 week. Hey, maybe a 5-1. Hopefully we can put a hurting on the Yanks. But so check us out. We'll be back here on Red Sox Rap 360 in 2 weeks on September 13th at 7:05 Eastern Time. Until then, I am going to sign off. Go Sox. Free Tom Brady. Thanks, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.